Welcome back to Ox Tools. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tom. A couple of YouTube viewers have expressed interest in seeing some of the rest of my shop, and I'll get to that. It'll probably be a separate video. But the other thing that I've gotten a few comments about is my hammer collection. People are interested in seeing this, and so I thought I'd do a short video on my problem with hammers. So and I have a problem. I buy too many hammers. So I'll just step aside here. There's my hammer rack that I built. So I had all these in drawers and boxes and stuff like that, and I said, geez, you know, I don't even know what I have anymore, so I need to build a rack, right? So anyway, I get all the hammers out, I lay them out on the floor, and I kind of figure out how much space I needed to store them, and with a little room for expansion, right? And so I build the rack and pretty much fill it up right out of the gate, and there's a little bit of space left, and then I found another drawer that was hidden, or anyway, there was some other stuff on top, and there's a whole bunch more hammers. So I had to build a little annex onto the back, and in reality I still need even more, and I still have some hammers that are spread out in the shop that I use kind of all the time. But anyway, there's some interesting stuff in here, and I thought I'd show you guys some of this stuff. And so I'll move the camera around a little bit, and I'll get in closer, and we'll look at a few of the we're not going to look at every damn ball peen hammer in there, right? I mean, if you've seen one ball peen, you kind of seen them all, although there are some subtleties. But there's some interesting stuff in there, and we'll just talk about it briefly. So, all right, so we'll start at the top row here, and so I've sort of arranged them small to large, okay, and then we've got cross peens and pick-like and body hammers and small sledge type things, multi-face type ones, and ball peens, and then we have mallets down below, and then oddball stuff. And let me bend this down a little bit here. And then we've got slappers and caulking tools and other stuff in there. So, so let's see. Let's go through the top row here. Okay, these are just kind of straight ball peens, but let me just pull one out just for illustrative purposes. Okay, so this is a little Stanley. This is a nice little one here. It's got somebody's name on it, Ruska. Anyway, it's nicely proportioned, and what I look for in a ball peen is a well-formed spherical peen end, okay, and no chips. If it's got a stock handle, that's great, that's still solid. So this is a nice little hammer, and I just clean them up a little bit, and then to keep them from rusting, I use a little bit of paste wax, like floor wax. And that generally keeps them from getting rusty. But anyway, if you're looking for ball peens, look for that nice spherical end. This is a good little size. I don't know, it's 6 ounce or something like that. These are Tinner's hammers here. Nothing special here. That's kind of an old-timey sheet metal type hammer here. These are for reaching into little edges and setting down seams, and then setting those seams down with the other end. So that's a pretty common hammer. And I got several flavors of those. Now here's a good one. I use this one quite a bit, actually. This is a Lixie, and what do they call it? A pinhead hammer or something like that. And this one's made out of hard bronze. But okay, dumbbell. Hold it up to the camera. So this is a number 0 here, and so it's got a kind of a pick end there. But what's neat about this one is, or the way I use it, is on stuff that I just can't miss. If you slip and you miss with the hammer, you put a ding in it. So what I do with this is I'll actually put the pin end on the thing I want to hit, and then hit this hammer with it. So that gives me a super accurate, very small location hit. So that's kind of how I use that one. That's a real handy little hammer there. Generally, you don't want to hit hammers together because they're hard on hard and they can fracture. But this one's bronze, so you can do that with that one. Here's a nice Proto body hammer with the octagonal handle. Anyway, it's just a body and fender hammer for doing sheet metal work. Cross pins. So okay, here's a nothing special in any of those. Here's kind of an oddball here. This is a raising hammer here with domed ends and for raising sheet metal. And when we say raising sheet metal, that means putting big dents into it and stretching it and making hollow forms. This one here, this is a pretty freaky one here. It looks like some kind of shoemaker's hammer because it's got a short handle. And sometimes you see hammers like this in auto body work where they reach inside fender wells and things like that when you have a deep curve like that. So not sure, but caught my attention and it was probably cheap, so picked it up. Now this next hammer here, this is one of my favorites here, and this is probably the most expensive hammer in this whole lot. It's Aplomb. And I bought this off eBay, and I had a bidding war with somebody else that wanted this really bad, and I paid close to $100 for this hammer. Anyway, it's got the original handle in it, original wedges. It's very deep here for reaching in, and it's deep on this side. And it's got just a nice curvature, although I couldn't see that in the auction when I bought it, but when I got it, I was real pleased with it. So anyway, so if you have a hammer problem, eBay is not a good place. So more body and fender stuff up here, shrinking hammer. Let's see what else is interesting here. Okay, so I have a bunch of these. These are copper hammers here. I really like copper as a hammer material. It's better than brass. It's soft, and it's softer than brass and doesn't mark as much as brass. And what it does also is it tends to grip when you hit. So it has a slightly different behavior. It doesn't skate, it grips a little bit when you hit. So once again, if I'm doing something that I don't want the hammer to skate off of, say I'm going to hit a chisel real hard, a lot of times I'll use a copper or bronze hammer because it doesn't slip off of the hard end of the chisel. So anyway, copper hammers are kind of handy. These are kind of blacksmithing sledges here. Kind of small sledge. I don't know, it's 2 pound or something like that. Anyway, this has got that whack. I cleaned it up and I waxed it. This one got a new handle. Anyway, it's just a good weight. This is great for whacking a chisel or something like that. Blacksmithing. Okay, what's next? Oh, these are kind of cool. You see these around Birkeland, and it's got a copper face and a steel face, and it's a good little weight. So it's a nice hammer to, you can center punch or do something with the steel face, and then you got a copper face if you have to tap on something else. So you see these around. These were pretty popular. I've never taken the face out of one of these, but it looks like, once they've been whacked on a little bit, they're kind of hard to get out of there. So I don't know. I haven't done one of those yet. You get some ball peens, various sizes. That's a pretty good size one there. Here's one I just got recently here. It was busted, but it's Aplomb, which is a real good brand. It's Proto, and it's got the octagonal handle and the original green paint on it, which is kind of neat. And I said, geez, you know, that might be kind of nice to have one that was kind of low clearance, you know, for reaching in somewhere. And so I just kind of cleaned up the busted end and put it in the collection. Now these are made by a company called Nupla, and these are, yeah, okay, I can unscrew it. Oh, there's the price, $3. Okay, so these have removable faces, so you can make your own faces out of different. God, I keep. You know what? I'm just gonna lower this a little bit here. I keep holding it too low. Sorry, guys. Anyway, they have removable faces, and you can make your own faces out of different materials: copper, plastic. I don't know, whatever you want, and you can buy these from McMaster, and they're pretty cheap. The heads, fiberglass handle, so it's pretty durable. I got a few of those. Let's see, what's next? Next row. So here's some mallets. These are these composite mallets. These are made out of these pressure laminated wood. This is kind of a lightweight mallet. And I think in general these are woodworking mallets, but I use this on sheet metal a lot. And I've had this for 20 years, and it's pretty indestructible. So if you want a lightweight, this is a fairly lightweight mallet, kind of for a speed and broad face. This is a great one here, and then you can resurface that if you want. But it's incredible. This thing is just hung in there for years. Anyway, I got a few of those. This is a sheet metal working hammer that I make. I used to sell these off and on at the different metal meet get-togethers and stuff like that. It's specifically made for doing compound sheet metal work. It's got a deep reach, removable heads, and you can clock these, and this is for shrinking or crushing tucks. Anyway, it's kind of it's a homemade one. I used to manufacture these. This is actually a pretty early one. They look a little different than this now, but I don't make those very often anymore. This is a bossing hammer. This is made out of apple or peach wood, something like that. It's a fruit wood. One of the old guys I work with gave me this. You know, every once in a while you use it, but it's just kind of a pleasing shape. Nothing magic there. Claw hammers, rawhide mallets. So now I got a bunch of rawhide mallets here, and you notice they're all kind of the same brand. These are these removable face, split head type, and this is by far the greatest rawhide mallet known to man. It's got weight, okay, it's got good weight, removable faces but soft faces, and the clamping mechanism works good. They come in all different sizes. You can see this is one of the, is that the smallest one? What is that? That's a number 1, yeah. And this is a number 5. So this is this is a death dealer here. You can really move stuff around with this and not mark it up. So you got a big weldment you need to wrap around. This is a great one. They also sell this particular one with a 36-inch sledge handle on it, but I haven't scored one of those yet. Anyway, these are made by Garland, and this is the cat's meow on rawhide mallets. So let's see. What's next here? So we got some slappers here of different flavors. This is a Covell slapper. Ron Covell makes these. These are for sheet metal work here. Broad face contact for smoothing out ripply things on sheet metal. And then these are this kind of homemade oak slappers. Once again, broad contact. Haven't used those two particular ones very much, but I usually use the faced ones. This has got some belting on it. Anyway, so these are, you know, for this kind of action here. And then here's a beautiful one that a friend of mine in Tennessee made for me. I did a little something for him, and he did a little something for me, and so he made me that slapper. And for years, I didn't even want to use it because it's just so beautiful. And he does auto body restoration, so it's just first class work on real fancy cars. And anyway, so he made that. It's leather faced, and anyway, I started using it finally, and it's good. It's got a big 3-inch wide broad contact. Pretty handy there. And we've talked about caulking tools before. Here's some various ones. Here's some wood ones for reaching into little corners and banging on stuff. Different shapes. Metal ones that you can reach into a little corner and work something. Here's an aluminum one that doesn't slip. And then this is just for levering edges, things like that. Anything else significant in here? Let's see. There's a blacksmith hammer back in there. Oh, I get here's an interesting one. So this is it's kind of a weird looking hammer, huh? And it's kind of soft, actually. It's actually a medical hammer. It's like an orthopedic hammer. It's made by Müller in Germany, and so when they do a artificial hip replacement and they gotta drive that spike down into the top of your femur, well, this is probably similar to the hammer that they use for that. Slightly creepy, but somebody gave it to me, and so it's in my hammer collection. What else? Well, I don't know. There's nothing else too exciting in here. Recently here, this is an Amco. I don't think this thing had ever been used. So this is one of these aluminum bronze. Yeah, this is aluminum bronze. This is for non-sparking, working around fuels and explosives and things like that. Anyway, flea market deal, unused, and a pretty good weight. This isn't as dense as steel, so you notice a slight difference in the weight for an equally sized ball peen. I don't know. That's about it. If I didn't talk about anything that you see in here that you want to see a little more, then post a comment, and we'll pull it out and we'll take a look at it. Anyway, that's Tom's hammer collection, and hope you enjoyed it. Oh, here's okay, this is a good one here. So this is, I haven't bothered to clean this one up. This is a blacksmith's hammer here, and it's a hot cut, or semi-hot cut. So the way this one's used is when you want to cut a piece of hot metal off, you put this on the metal and then whap this, and then you score it, and you can break it or just chop it in half. And normally that's done on the little table, not on the main table of the anvil, but the see, do I have, yeah. So here's a little anvil. This one's made out of a railroad track. So this is the main table of the anvil, and so this is what they call the cutting table here. This little step down, and usually this is soft and this is hard up here. So this particular hammer would be used in this area here, on the little flat area on the horn, the cutting table. So anyway, hey, that's a good project. If you guys want to have a little metalworking project, this was made out of a piece of regular railroad track and a lot of grinding. Anyway, nice little fun little project. So anyway, that's a cutting hammer there. Okay, I don't know. That's about it. There's the collection, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.